Okay, Unit 3 Study Guide, questions 13 through 16. Again, we're solving equations, so the goal is to isolate the variable. Find the variable, it's right here. You want to get the w by itself. Two things are being done to it. It's being multiplied by 7/10, and they are subtracting 5/100 from it. So to undo this, you need to undo those two operations. First, get rid of the one that's being added or subtracted. Get the one that's over here with the w, but not directly connected to it. So to get rid of subtracting 5/100, you would add 5/100. Yeah, 5/100. Try that. Okay, on this side, you're going to be left with your 7/10 w, and your equal sign will come straight down. This is your new equation. This is 0, so it's gone. Adding and subtracting, be sure you line up the decimal points when you add and subtract decimals. So this time, the 5 will line up with the 3. Those are both in the hundredths column. And this was adding. It's good to show your sign so you're thinking about what operation you're doing. Add 3 plus 5 gives me an 8. Nothing plus 2 gives me a 2. Decimal point comes straight down, and my 0 is right there. Now, the next step, they're multiplying by 7/10, so to undo that, you divide by 7/10. On this side, you do the exact same thing. You put a bar under it to show dividing. Divide by 7/10. On this side, you'll get your w. On this side, your equal sign comes straight down. On this side, you're dividing. I'm going to go ahead and do it with long division. So it's the 28/100 is what's being divided. That goes inside the division sign. The 7/10 goes outside. When you're dividing with decimals, you want to make this into a whole number. You want to divide by a whole number because then your decimal point would go straight up. So make this into a whole number by moving the decimal point one place to the right. Do the same thing here. Move it one place. Then it goes straight up. Now you're ready to divide 2 8/10 by 7. Well, 7 doesn't go into 2, but 7 does go into 28. It goes 4 times. That would be 28. Subtract, you get nothing left over. That is your answer. 0 would equal 4/10. Number 14, kind of a tricky question. Kids miss this, even though this is really kind of simple. The issue is there's nothing next to the m. This just says negative m or minus m. If the thing is, this is almost like a secret agent Juan situation. When there's no number next to a variable, like b, you can always put a 1 next to it. b is the same thing as 1 times b. That helps you here. If you think of it as negative 2/5 equals negative 1m, then it's easy to see of saying, oh, they're multiplying by negative 1, so you want to divide by negative 1. Both sides, again, your equal sign's coming straight down. On the left, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Anything divided by 1 is just that number itself. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. That is 2/5. Or I'm sorry, negative divided by a negative. And on the right, negative divided by a negative is a positive. That's what you wanted to do, is get rid of that minus sign. That did it. That's your answer. 2/5 is equal to m. Number 15, most complicated thing. We can't solve it right away. First, we need to simplify. You need to simplify this side of the equation, which is like you were doing in the first problems on this test. Take it as negative 2 times everything in here. Distributive property, negative 2 times everything in the parentheses. So negative 2 times 1y is negative 2y. Negative 2 times a negative 3 or a minus 3, take it as a negative 3. A negative times a negative is a positive. You get a positive 6. Bring down the rest of the equation. Plus 5y minus 4 equals 12. Again, your equal sign is going to come straight down the page. Combine the like terms, the minus 2y and a plus 5y. That is a positive 3y. And then the positive 6, a plus 6, and a minus 4, that is 2. And the larger amount, you're going to subtract because they're different signs. You're going to get 2. The larger amount's positive, so that is 3y plus 2 is equal to 12. To solve this, again, you want to isolate the variable. Now you're starting to solve it. You want to isolate the variable. Get rid of the part that's over here that's being added or subtracted that's near the y but not directly connected to it. To get rid of it, you do a minus 2 on both sides of the equation. You get 3y is equal to 10, and then y is being multiplied by 3, so to undo that, you divide by 3. Whatever you do on this side of the equation, you do the same thing on this side. So divide by 3 here. That's a wonderful answer. That's a fraction greater than 1. That is a good answer. On this side, you get your y. On this side, you get 10/3. You can leave it like that, or if you wanted to change it into a mixed number, 3 would go into 10. 3 whole times, you'd have 1 piece left over, so it would be 1/3 left over. 10/3 is an excellent answer. 3 1/3 is also an excellent answer. Problem 16. Again, you need to simplify before you can start solving it. We've got a couple of r's over here. To simplify, you need to do the distributive property, which again is, remember, when there's no number next to a parentheses, secret agent 1. He's there even when he's not there. So -1 times everything in here. -1 times r is a -1r. -1 times -3 is a positive 3. Bring down the rest of the problem. Bring down your 6, don't forget it, plus 5r equals 22. Combine the like terms. 6 plus 3 is 9. -1r plus 5r, they're different signs, so you need to subtract. 1 from 5 is 4. The larger amount is the positive, so it's plus 4, and it is 4r equals 22. Now you've simplified it all you can simplify it. It's time to solve it, which means isolate the variable. First, let's get rid of this piece that's over here with the r but not directly connected to it. That's a positive 9. A minus 9 would do great. And so subtract 9 from this side. Again, a little curvy here, but yeah, the equal sign's coming straight down the page. You get 4r equals, 9 from 22. I'm going to have to borrow. This becomes a 1. That's 9 from 12. That's 3. And nothing from the 1 makes it 13. r is being multiplied by 4. So to solve it, you divide by 4 on both sides of the equation, again, to show that it's balanced. On the left, those 4's reduce. You get your r by itself. On this side, that is a beautiful answer right there, 13/4. Or if you wanted to change it into a mixed number, 4 would go into 13 3 whole times. That would be 12. You'd have 1 piece left over, 3 1/4. But again, 13/4 is a wonderful answer. You could stop right there.